Hello, warm welcome, Croeso, to this webinar about graphic design and Canva, specifically focusing on how third sector organizations in Wales can create professional looking designs for free with a Canva Non-profit account. Before we start, allow me to introduce myself. Daniele Adui, I'm Daniele Mele, media designer and producer at promo-cymru. As my job role suggests, I work on graphic design and video content, helping third sector organizations better engage with their audience through creative media and training. I personally use Canva on a daily basis in my job at promo-cymru. We rely on it for creating most of the content we share on our social media channels, and guess what? These slides are also made on Canva. Canva is a tool I love, and I hope that during our time together, I can help you gain the confidence to take your first steps in graphic design and content creation, or deepen your knowledge if you already have some design experience. In this webinar, we will explore what Canva is and introduce the Canva Non-profit program, which allows us to access all the benefits and features of a premium subscriptions, but for free. We'll also see how to start a design in Canva from scratch and how to create a design by starting from an existing template. Last but not least, we will have a look at extra features that can help us save time and resources in our design workflow, like the Canva Brand Kit, that enables us to keep brand consistency across all the design we create on Canva. Dioc, thank you for sticking with me in this short introduction. Now let's give it a start. As I mentioned earlier, I created today's slides in Canva, and this is how a project in Canva looks like. As you can see, I can move among the different pages, I can move the different elements, like photos, graphic design elements, text, and it doesn't look too far from how a PowerPoint or a Google Slides project look like. Previously, I used the present mode to show you the slides in full screen, but now what I want to show you is how Canva look like when you first open it, and for doing so I will go in the home page clicking on the left top corner of my screen. So this is how Canva homepage look like. I'm currently using it on browser. I am on www.canva.com, but you can also download it as a desktop app or mobile app, taking it with you on your tablet, Android phone or iPhone. Thanks to its simple user interface, we don't need to be an expert designer to start creating anything we need for our social media, presentations or printed materials. As you can see here, there are flyers, logo, posters, everything we need is here at hand. It sounds like Canva is a very accessible platform, but this is not everything. In fact, you can access all of these for free. If I go on plans and pricing on top of my home page, I can see that there are three different options: free, pro and themes. Now clicking on compare pricing, I can have a deeper look of what it means in terms of cost, but also in terms of what they offer, and it's great to see that Canva for free already offer hundreds of thousands of free templates as well as a very rich media library, so I really encourage everyone to start a free account first. Alternatively, you can go on plans and pricing and then not for profit. Canva for non-profits is the program that allows registered non-profit organization to access all the benefits and features of a pro account, but for free. To apply, you only need to go down to this landing page, apply now is free, and then it will take you from a few days to a couple of weeks to be approved and joining the family of over 400,000 non-profits that are currently using Canva for non-profit. But now, let's go back to our Canva homepage. What I would like to do with you is creating a design from scratch, so I really encourage you to follow along while I'm designing. You can do so even with a free account. The account I'm using today is a Canva for non-profit account, so I will have access to all the features of Canva, but most of the features I'm using today are also features that you have with a free account, so I really encourage everyone to follow along and design with me. What I created for today's session is the design that you can find here. Every time you create a design on Canva, you can find them in this area in your home page. So if I click on it, I'm able to open it in one of my tabs. I created this simple design pretending of promoting an online conference on the future of youth work. As you can see, the design is quite simple. I have a background that is a photo to which I applied a filter. I have some logos here. I have the text that says what it's all about. And then I have like a call to action and some graphic design elements like a square and a button that emphasize the text itself. We'll find out now how to create one of these designs. You can probably recognize that this is like a square post, so what I went for was an Instagram post. So back to our homepage, here in the search bar, I can type what I need, Instagram post. Here in the result I have search for Instagram post, I go there, and what Canva provides me is a long list of templates based on how a good Instagram post generally look like. But in this case I don't want to go for a template, I will go for a create a blank Instagram post. Canva is opening it in a different tab. Now, where to go to start filling this white space with all the elements I need? What I need is to go on the menu on the left side of my screen, and instead of going for templates, design, I will go for elements. In here, I can find all the elements I may need to start designing my project. I have shapes, I have graphic design elements, I have stickers, photos, videos. Just down below I have text, I have a draw as well, where I can use markers, pens, and everything I need to start creating my elements by my own. In this specific case though, I will go for elements and I will go on photos. As I mentioned earlier, Canva gives us access to a huge media library, and to facilitate finding us what we need, there is here a search bar where we can type what we need for our design. In this case I will go for youth work, and then since it is an online conference I will go for laptop as well. To add a picture you can click on it, okay, or you can drag and drop an element inside the frame, like in this case. When an element is selected, then I can interact and edit it. In this case, I'm selecting the photo here, and on top of my page, I can see I have edit photo. If I click on it, I can start adding some effects to the photo itself. I go for duotone, which is the effect I applied on the design I previously made. I go on peppermint. I can also edit the effect to make it a bit darker. And then, what I also did previously is adding a bit of blur to hide a bit the face of the young people in the background. I can go maybe for 30. Now, what I need to do is to fill all the white space behind the picture with the picture itself. For doing so, I click on the picture and then I grab it from one of the corners, expanding it, resizing it, till all the white space disappear, exactly as I did previously. Now that I have my background, I can add the second element of my design, which is the text. So I double click on it from the previous design I made, I select it, I copy it, and then in the new design, I go on the menu on the left side of my screen, do you remember? Text, add a text box, and from here I can make it bigger, and on the right click of my mouse I select paste. What I need to do now is to select the right font. I delete this white space that I don't need. I move the text a bit. As you can see here now, what I have is a menu that is very similar to the one you can find on Google Docs or Microsoft Word. I can align the text on the left of my text box. As you can see, there is also right, center. In this case I need it on the left. And then I change the font. Here there are some categories provided by Canva. I go for headings, which means also titles, and I select Bernoulli, which is the font I previously used in my design. Now I can make it a bit bigger. I can also make it bigger from here, like changing the font size. I can move it slightly. And what I can also do a bit is changing the gap between the two lines. As you can see, I'm reducing it a bit. Here we are. Now I have my text. The third element of my design now is this square. How to add a square? In this case, again, I will go back to the menu on the left side of my screen. I won't go on text this time, I will go on elements. I don't need photos, so I go back to the menu at the beginning. And from here, I go on shapes and I go for a square. A squares now appear in the middle of my design. With a square, as you can see, I can change the color. Okay, so again, I select an element and on top of my menu, on top of my page, I have all the menu I need to start editing it as I prefer. In this case, I change the color. I don't go for a plain one. I go for this gradient here. And now I have my square with the right gradient, the one I used previously. What I need to do, in this case, like I can resize it from one of the corner or I can stretch it from one from the side. In this case, I will stretch it a bit. I will make a rectangle. I think now it's similar to the one I made. I can change now the color of my font to something similar to the one I previously selected. Probably I can go for a blue. I can also change it a bit for making it slightly darker. Something like that. Back to our original design, I need now to add the second line of text, which is online conference. Again, I select it from here. I go back to the new design. In here I go on text, again, add a text box. In this case, the text box Canva prepared is similar to the one I used previously in terms of font and color. I need to change it though. So I select it, double click on it, and I paste, okay, the new text, online conference. In this case, I turn it into white, and I change the font to the one I used. Instead of headings, I go for handwriting. I prefer to go for something funky this time, and I type here the font I used, which was, if I don't remember wrong, Red Kids. Here we are. I can make it a bit bigger. In this case, I will align the text on the right of my text box, and I will align it following the purple guiding lines. Can you see that there is a line next to my text? This is a line that allows me and help me to align the different elements of a design together following a kind of ideal distance. In this case, I will align in this way. I'm kind of happy with it. Probably I can make it everything a bit bigger, and I can carry on with the next element. The next element is the button. In this case, again, rather than creating a new box of text, I can go on copy and paste. Okay, in this case, I will put register now, copying the text from here, copy, again, select here and paste. I need it white, so select everything, white. I can make it a bit smaller, I can align it to the center, and now what I need to do is adding the button. For adding the button, I don't need the text, so I go back to elements. In this case, I don't go for a shape, or maybe yes, but it's hard now to find it here, isn't it? So what I can do is going on the search bar and typing it here what I need. In this case, I go for button. And what I have if I click on see all is a list of buttons from which I can select the one I went for. I can make it a bit smaller, as well as the text. I can align them together. I can change the color of the button to one that is close to the one I went previously. To something like this. I can now copy and paste this element. I will show you that you can copy an element from a design you previously made and it is open in your tab to a different design in a different tab. In this case, I did copy this element, okay, the text which says month and year. I go back to my design, okay, the new one. I do right click, paste, and here we are, we have the same text formatted in the same way but from an old design into my new one. Now I'm ready to go for the latest elements of my design, which are this arrow here and the logos. For the arrow, I go on Elements, I delete this search, I clear it, and instead of button I go for arrow this time. As you can see, all the elements I can see in my results are static. So how to go for animated elements? In this case I go on the filter here next to the search bar and apply animated. Now the results I have are animated elements. I click on see all and I go for the arrow I previously used, which is this one. I click on it, I edit it, I rotate it. As you can see here, there is this icon with two rounded arrows. If I click on it and I drag it, I can, change the orientation of my arrow. I place it here next to my call to action, register now, so to highlight it and emphasize the click. And everything is ready for adding the logos. For the logos, I need to upload them into Canva. For doing so, remember, I always go when I need to add something to my design on the menu on the left side of my screen. In this case, I will go for uploads, and here is where I can upload elements from my computer or from my device into my design. I click on promo-cymru logo, which is something I already uploaded previously. I can resize it, I can place it here in the bottom right corner of my design, aligning it with this square I previously made, together with a button. Remember, it's always good to take care of all the alignment in one design. And then I upload the new, the other logo, the one I'm missing, the WCVA one. How to do it? I click on upload files in this case. What it happens is that now I can navigate through the folders of my computer, laptop or device, and I click on WCVA logo. I upload it. It might take a few seconds. Now I have it. I click on it and I resize it. Now my design is almost ready. I can just give it a quick look. I can do a bit of zoom out to have a look at it from far. I think I'm quite happy with it, so I'm ready to download it. To download a design, you need to go on the right top corner of your screen, share, then download, and then select a file type. In this case I have MP4 video, but I want to go for a picture, so the icons helps me to find out what is the format about. In this case I can select for JPG or PNG. I select PNG. Then from this section here I won't change anything, since I'm happy with the size 1. And then what I do is clicking on download. As you can see, it might take a few seconds. After it finishes, I have the file downloaded into my device, ready to be uploaded into my social media. A way to share it directly on your social media otherwise is to go on share, share on social media, Instagram in this case, immediately post from the mobile app, continue, and then from here you need to scan the QR code with the Canva app on your phone to link your Instagram account to your Canva. Alternatively, you can also download your design as a video. For doing so, you go on share, download, and then MP4 video as it is. Not JPG, not PNG, but MP4 video. The video will look like the video you can watch in the preview. To watch the preview of your video, you go on the right top corner of your screen and click on play. This is how the video looks like. The length is 6 seconds, but if we want to change it, we can go on selecting our design and then changing it from editing time here, where we can select from a range up to 30 seconds to a minimum of 0.1. In this case, I will go for 5. And then, as you can see, the preview time changed accordingly to the timing I selected. What you might have noticed from the design I previously made is that I have two different pages. In the first one I have the content in Welsh, and in the second one I have the content in English. To do so, I can go back to my design and create a duplicate. So to duplicate it, I click on duplicate page on top of the page where my design was. In here now, I can select the text and changing it to the English version. In this case, I will go for the future of youth work. I can do it manually, as you can see, but also I can do it automatically with Canva Translate. In fact, Canva has an internal app based on Google Translate. If I go on the left side of my screen where there is apps, I click on Translate, and then from here I can go on selecting the language I want to translate my design to. In this case I will keep it English, and then when I'm ready I click on Translate. What I have now is a copy of my design translated into English. As you can see, it did quite a good job. I can also share the feedback to tell them if they did well or not. I have to say, most of the time doesn't do an amazing job when I translate it from English to Welsh, but in this case it did a quite good job from Welsh to English, so I really encourage you anyway to give it a try and see how it works. Last but not least, I would like to show you how to convert this design made for Instagram into a Twitter post. If I go on the left top corner of my screen, I can go for Magic Switch. From here there is Resize, and I can go for Twitter. I select Twitter, I go on Continue, and then in a few seconds I have the version I need for my Twitter account. Copy and resize, open Twitter post, and this is how Canva automatically resized my design for Twitter. As you know, like Twitter is not based on square posts as Instagram. I might need maybe to make some adjustments, but Canva did quite a good job in a few seconds. Unfortunately, the Magic Switch is not available in the free version of Canva, so once more I encourage you to apply for the non-profit program. I think this was kind of everything on how to start a visual content from a blank page. Remember that when you don't know how to start, you can just set up a simple background. In this case we used a photo, we applied some filters, then we went on the text, and then we went on some elements that could help us to highlight our text, like a square, like a button. We also saw how to upload some external elements like our logos, and we also saw together how to manage and add some animated elements like the arrow we can see here. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, in the time we have left together, we'll have a look at how the Canva brand kit works and how to start a design from an existing template provided by Canva. For doing so, I will go back to our Canva homepage. And from here, I will search for a Twitter post. In this case, I am in front of a long list of templates provided by Canva. If I want to go more accurate in my research, I can apply a filter. I go here, all filters, and then from here I select professional. Then apply. Canva provides me a different list of templates now, from which I can select the one I like. In this case I go for this one about webinar, and I will make a post promoting today's webinar. I click on customize this template, and from here I'm ready to design. As I have mentioned, I would like to create a post that promotes today's webinar. So how to start? Firstly, I would like to change the title. So instead of business strategy, I would like to go for the title of my webinar, Free Digital Skills Webinar in Canva. I can split it into different lines. I can delete webinar from here. Maybe I can delete the date. Then register now, that is okay. Here I can change the website to promo.cymru. Then I can change the name with my name. But most importantly, how I can make it more in line with our brand and what branding means. Branding gives your organization an identity. It embodies your values, makes your business memorable, supports your marketing and advertising, and brings your employees sense of belonging. The elements that makes a brand are the logo, the colors, the fonts, and the visuals, like photos or illustrations. In this case, we can see how Promo keeps the same consistency in terms of voice and colors among the different platforms. And to help us keep branding consistency in our design, we can use the Canva Brand Kit. Here on the Canva homepage, I can click on Brand on the left side of my screen and then click on Promo from all the brand kit we created in our account. As you can see, this is how the Promo Brand Kit look like. There are our logos, our colors, and our fonts. And if I go back to our design, this is how the brand kit works. If I go now on the left side of my screen and I click on Brand, I can see there are the logos, the colors, and if I click on Shuffle, Canva tries to apply our brand kit colors into our design. If I'm not happy with the way Canva is managing it, I can do it manually. When I select an element, as you can see, I can find the brand kit here at hand with all the colors I need. In a few clicks now, I can make a design that can easily fit with our channels. I can change slightly the layout of the elements. I can make the text a bit bigger. And for giving a final touch, I can use Canva AI. If I go on Apps, here, I can go for Magic Media, Open, and then here I can type what I need. In this case, I need something about creativity and maybe a laptop. Let's have a look what Canva generates. This is gonna be like the image I'm gonna replace here in this frame. It may take a few seconds, as you can see. Now from one of these pictures, I can go for this one maybe. I select it and I put it into the frame. Just to finish, I can also add some extra text, creating by AI again. So here, I click on this icon that opens me the Magic Write. If I click here, I can ask Canva to give me a definition of Canva in one line. Let's have a look what it generates. I delete the title. I make it smaller. Canva is a graphic design platform that allows users to create various visual content, including social media posts, presentations and marketing materials, among others, with ease and efficiency. I kind of like it and I place it here. I will show you how to generate a QR code in a very simple way using Canva. If you go on Apps, you can go on QR code here. With one click, you can go here and type the website where you want to link your QR code to. In this case, I will go for promo.cymru, where people will be able to register for this webinar. And here we are, I have a QR code ready for my purpose. I believe my design is now finished and ready to be downloaded. Our time together is at hand. I hope this webinar helped you to gain new skills and confidence to use Canva in your work. Diolch, thank you, and enjoy Canva.